Hi, I'm Jeff Wagner. I'm the author of Mean Deviation, 4 Decades of Progressive Heavy Metal. This is a book I started in early 2008, finished in mid-2010, and it's out now. I'd like to show you a few things about it. One of my favorite features are the flaps. This is sort of a kind of a nice thing that Bazillion Points does with a lot of their books. This is me at Vorph Mathematics, and it's got a beautiful 16-page color spread. It numbers about 364 pages. The book is basically divided into 5 parts. I've named them after bits from Rush lyrics. I don't know if anybody's noticed that yet, but I'd like to sort of reveal that. The first part is basically looking at progressive rock, the heavy progressive rock that later influenced metal bands, and some of the sort of proto-prog or proto-metal bands that I think are important to the story. Then we get into the meat of it with part 2, which kind of covers the 80s. Big bands like Fates Warning, Queensryche, Watchtower, that whole thing. Part 3, definitely, it's titled Quantum Leap Forward. Definitely takes a quantum leap into sort of the underground, sort of more extreme thrash and death of the day in the 80s, and looking at some of the bands that sort of pioneered their way into doing some really exciting things at the time. You know, Voivod, Celtic Frost, Believer, Corner, there are quite a few. And then part 4, we jump around a good bit. We look at Dream Theater and their influence. We look at, is Symphony X progressive? That's a question I pose in the book, and I think answer with the help of other people around Symphony X. We get into the weirding of Norway in part 4, and there's a huge bit on Swedish oddballs, I call it. People like Therion, Edge of Sanity, all the numerous things that Dan Swano's also been involved in. Part 5, we get into the 2000s, and we look at all the myriad outgrowths that are happening by that decade. And it's quite a scattered field of bands, a lot of really interesting things going on. And it's just almost mushrooms. You can almost feel everything happening in this sort of scene, if you will. Just mushrooming throughout the decades into this just crazy world we know now, which is incredibly vast. And I tried to pull it all, within the covers of this book. So it was no mean feat, and I hope you'll enjoy my attempt. So here we have How to Build a Hypercube, aka Mean Deviation. 365 pages, 16 color pages at Vorph Mathematics. I've got a full index in here, many appendixes, and this is what this book is all about. Industrial binding, so you can feel free to throw it across the room when you get angry that you don't find your favorite obscure Dutch band in here or what have you. But it'll hold up really nicely. It's a thing of high quality, like all Bazillion Points books, and they didn't ask me to say that. I really truly believe that. Yeah, it's worth 17, 18, 19 reads. It will not fall apart on you after 20 reads. I can't guarantee anything, but that's Mean Deviation.